Man, I'll tell you what, I am like grooving. I am grooving on the music here, and it just makes me want to get out and bow wow and get out to some of those holiday parties. And we're talking in the studio here about networking and how we should be networking. There are always opportunities coming up. You need to be prepared. You need to look at your schedule, and the holiday parties would be a great way to network, because when you're out at a holiday party, you may see a lot of couples that are out, and you have the opportunity to network maybe with the person you know, but the spouse or the partner, the person coming in, is also a potential networking partner, wouldn't you say?
Yep, I agree, and I think that we have to take advantage of these things, and we're not trying to be diabolical here. It's not like we're trying to say, at everything you do. That's not the point. The point is that you need to be aware of your environment when you're at these types of functions. Have some business cards with you. There's going to be people that maybe you typically don't have the opportunity to be face-to-face with because of competing categories in what you do or times or whatever. These may be those special opportunities that there's that one key person that you've been trying to find and get face-to-face with, and take advantage of that. Obviously, don't pull the fork out of his face, especially not me. Don't take food away from me.
Don't do that.
No.
1-800-923-9385. We will take your call. Want to know about your business, want to know about what you do, and maybe some of your networking skills and the holiday party. If I'm out there, I don't know about you, Al, but when I talk to somebody and I meet somebody for the first time, I'd like to know their name. I always ask, what do you do?
Yeah, and how many people do that? What do you do? And again, what happens is that people... at parties, they don't have business cards. I run into it all the time. Do you have business cards? Why would I bring business cards here?
I just ask them to write their number on a 20 for me.
Yeah, I've seen you do that. Well, Jerry, let me ask you a question, because I know a lot of times during the holidays, you're performing.
That's it. And
how does that create opportunities for you, because you are in front of so many people? What does that do as far as from a networking standpoint for you? Do you find it as an advantage or disadvantage?
I find it, there are always advantages. You just have to learn how to use them. And when my band, the Brothers Righteous, is out entertaining, especially at holiday parties, we are in front of the microphone. We get to sing. We get to entertain people. And on our breaks, inevitably, people are going to come up and go, so is this what you do for a living? Or, do you have a day job or a night job? And I get the opportunity to tell them, yes. In fact, I'm involved in networking. I'm involved in, regional director for a local business network. And because we get to have that entertainer thing going on, people are interested in what we do.
Yeah, that's good. And I've seen it. I've seen it where you actually brought people over to me. We've been at different functions, and you've brought somebody over to me that I've been able to meet and to invite and things like that. So I think it is just taking the blinders off.
Absolutely. When I am out and I'm listening, I've had people go, what do you like, your own little personal networking group? Well, you know what? I get a chance to meet a lot of people and talk to a lot of people, and I love plugging in the pieces. So if somebody comes up and they tell me what they do, I'm already going, you know what? There's somebody over here. Here's this Brian guy that I think would be of real interest for you to talk to. So I'm just making the pieces fit. And then I get to walk away, and these, they're busy networking, and it makes me feel good to be able to put a couple of businesses together.
It's great. And I think about from my standpoint and the things that I do, because I am so heavily involved in LinkedIn and Facebook, that I'm basically reaching out and I'm having contact with over 8,000 people a day. And then ultimately they're in turn sharing. And what I find is that I go to events all the time, and I have multiple people that know who I am and know what I do. And I've never met that person. I have no idea who they are. But because of the presence that I've created out there, a lot of people know who I am. And it shows that this really works.
Well, you're fortunate in that aspect, and I know that you're teaching other people to do that. It's very, very important. We talked about it a little bit in the opening of the show. Let people know what you do. Don't beat them over the head. Let them know. If there's an interest, they're going to let you know. Or, again, if you can plug them in with somebody else, going, there's a guy over here that's in the similar business. I'd like to introduce you to them. They're going to appreciate that.
Yeah, and I guess the thing that I would say more than anything is never, ever try to sell to somebody. When you're in any sort of a face-to-face meeting, whether it be a networking, a club, a party, never, ever try to sell. It's something where it's always just about to say, do we have something in common? Is there a reason that we should get face-to-face and have a one-on-one meeting with each other? Is there a reason for us to do something? That's all that you're looking for in these environments, is just to say, is there another conversation that should come out of this?
Well, that's what we're trying to teach everybody. And again, it's where do I start in networking? And it can be as something as simple as just getting out at a holiday party. I'd like to take another phone call here. We've got Chuck in Clarkston. Chuck, you there?
I'm here. Chuck Gifford calling in today.
Good morning, Chuck. How are you, buddy?
Well, I'm doing great.
How was your Thanksgiving?
You guys are sounding great this morning.
Thanks. How was your Thanksgiving, Chuck?
Oh, it's fabulous.
Yeah,
Fabulous. Kids came up from Texas. We had a great time.
Yeah,
Awesome.
he had kids running all over his house there this weekend. What's on your mind today?
Definitely a change of pace around here.
Absolutely. What's on your mind today, Chuck?
Well, you were talking about people getting started in networking, and there are three tips that I'd give them. First of all, define your goals. What do you want to accomplish with your networking? Networking can be used for prospecting to find new customers and clients. It can be used for sourcing to find people that can provide products or services that you need or that your customers or clients need. It can be used to find referral partners, which to me is the ultimate use of networking, to build those referral partner relationships. But you can also use it for developing a group, a peer group, a group of individuals that you rely on for advice when you need help with your small business. In small business, we can't do it all. We can't know it all. So we have to rely on others sometimes to fill in the gap. So you can use that networking to kind of find those people that you like and respect and that you can turn to when you have a question in their area of expertise. And you can also use it for career advancement.
Okay.
So, kind of making contact with those people that will, help you to advance your career.
And you've written a book, Chuck, and what's the name of the book?
It is Network Your Way to $100,000 and Beyond.
Now, is there a way that they can, the listeners can get a hold of you?
Yeah, sure. They can call me at 248-620-6320, or they can go to our website, www.locbusnet.com. And, there's another website that they might want to go to. It's Networking Series, networkingseries.com. There's a series of 52 free networking tips there. They can go, they just input their name and their email address, and every week for a year, they'll get a free networking tip that will help them become a better networker.
No, we appreciate that, and you've been involved in networking for how long, Chuck?
Oh, well, LBN is now 12 years old, but my career has lasted longer than I'd like to think about. So.
All right, well, we won't let everybody know. And listen, we appreciate you calling in, Local Business Network, and thank you for giving the information. We hope that people will take advantage of that, and you have a great weekend, Chuck, okay?
You guys do the same.
Thank you. Yeah, bye-bye. You know what? We've got... I got Tim in Plymouth, and let's see what Tim's got to say. Tim, are you there?
Good morning. I'm here. I'd like to thank you for your topic. I think this is exactly what people in transition and people who are...
Oh, you used the transition term.
Well, a lot of people might be at a place where they could be in their 20s or their 30s or their 40s, 50s, and we all have this transition. I can give you an example of how exactly what you're talking about. Joining a service organization, I'm in Toastmasters. I know people who are in Rotary, and the greatest thing about it is the service that it calls you to takes you outside of yourself. And the networking is fantastic. If I can give you an example.
Sure.
I was on a flight to visit a brother in San Antonio, and I was sitting next to a person on the plane, and as we were talking, how's your career? What are you doing? Working in financial services, I've been there 13 years. How do you like your job? Not really, but, a lot of people, the standard answer, pays the bills. Well, what do you do? What is your passion? Well, I teach English as a second language as a volunteer at night. And from just this conversation on about the first hour, he said, there's somebody here on the plane who's with me. They're sitting up about 4 rows. Let's switch seats as we go. So I went in and sat and talked to her. I very well might end up transitioning out of financial services and into teaching, which is my passion, all from a conversation on the person sitting next to me and having been involved. I tutor at 2 different schools in the area, talking about my Toastmasters. It was easy to get up and talk. So I would just reiterate what you were saying. Get into any kind of service organization. Use that networking as a skill. It's not to sell. It's just to meet new people, and you never know where it will take you.
Yeah, thanks, Tim, so much. And Jerry and I have both embraced Toastmasters. I think that for people who maybe aren't comfortable in their own skin, it can be a great tool for them. And for anybody interested in Toastmasters, you just go on Google and just type in Toastmasters.com, and you'll see that there's clubs all over.
Do you mind if I ask another question?
Sure, go ahead.
The quick question was specifically with Toastmasters. I think most people think it's mostly about being comfortable in front of people. Really what it comes down to is you really learn leadership skills. The comfort and getting to be comfortable speaking is a wonderful skill, and that's the main emphasis. But the leadership track, I find, is fantastic. I talked to someone at my work, and I said, I've been in Toastmasters now 2 years, and I can tell you that I've grown and matured as a leader more than I have in, and I hate to say this over the radio, but I would even admit this, in maybe 5 years at the bank.
Sure.
So it's a fantastic organization. I would just, like you said, encourage anyone to look it up and to give it a try.
Agree. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, listen, we appreciate that, and Toastmasters is a great organization. Get involved in that. We're going to continue to take your calls, 1-800-923-9385. On the other side, we're going to talk about, how about some pet peeves? You got any of those, Al?
Oh, boy.
All right, we're going to talk about those. Thanks for joining us on Networking Squared.